Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's February 16th, 2026, looking up at Old Hindman. And if you're still enjoying this broadcast, we ask you to do a one-time donation, or even better, sign up for that monthly sustaining membership. Got lots to talk about in this morning briefing. Before we have our storm come through tonight, we'll have continued mild and warm weather with some gusty southerly winds building throughout the day. Our storm comes through tonight. Doesn't really start till after 3 p.m. and the snow line is going to start pretty high and fall rapidly as that cold front comes through. So we're going to start out with snow or rain up to 6,500 feet. That snow is going to intensify after dark with winds. Temperatures are going to rapidly fall behind that front, and then lingering snow showers through Tuesday before another shot of snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty here. This is our first low off the coast of California, and our second low waiting on deck off the coast of BC there. And we kind of have this stationary front in between the two of them that's going to start out the weather today. Looking at the HRRR forecast. So you can see lots of moisture to our west. That doesn't really start till right before sunset. It's going to be hidden everywhere from Bogus Basin over, really everywhere. The southern South Hills of south of Twin, all the way up to the Central Mountains. Lots of pretty intense moisture throughout the night and kind of fizzling out before sunrise tomorrow. Before tomorrow afternoon, we have a couple of more scattered showers coming through before that next little low. Looking at our total event accumulation, this is through Tuesday night. So right before the next storm comes through, you can see the Pioneers are going to significantly get most of the storm, but there's going to be moisture throughout the southern sections. If we kind of dissect right across Galena Pass, northern mountains aren't going to get as much because this is pretty strong southerly flow. Down in the valley floor, we could see a couple inches by tomorrow morning. That's all going to depend on how fast that cold front moves through. This is another look of more specific to the avalanche center zones. You can see up in the Pioneers, pushing 2 feet of snow up into the boulders, have kind of another bullseye. To the south, Soldier is going to do really well. A lot of the ski resorts are going to do really well out of this storm. Soldier, Baldy, and Bogus Basin are all going to receive moisture out of this storm. It's got a lot of cool air coming in with it just as it intensifies. I do want to get into the ski resorts. First, starting with Bogus, picking up a good 6, maybe 8 inches out of this by tomorrow. So that's going to be a nice addition. And it looks like it's at 10% density too. Same as Baldy. Baldy's going to be picking up a little bit more. It's going to be almost an inch of water, 9 inches of snow. So tomorrow morning is going to be pretty fun skiing on Baldy. And then this is looking at Haley in the valley. Could see a couple of inches. Again, it all depends on when that cold front comes through. The temperatures plummet behind that thing. Let me go up to the temperatures. So we're going to start out the day in the valley floor up in the mid to upper 40s, and look at that temperature drop by tomorrow morning, 25 degrees. So that's a pretty insane, almost about 25-degree drop. With this system coming through, we're going to have pretty intense winds with this low getting pushed out. I'll kind of talk more about the wind bars or the isobars in the 500 millibar chart this morning, but just wanted to kind of go over some of the winds. Could see gusts up to 45 leading into the night, and then it gets pretty crazy ahead of that frontal system. You can see down in the Snake River Plain, the South Hills, gusts picking up to 60 miles per hour, and that eventually is going to influence the Central Mountains. 5 a.m. This is for 5 a.m. So I think that's kind of when that frontal system might be passing through, is kind of the 4 to 6 a.m. range. And the Pioneers, if you're standing on top of Heinemann, you could get gusts up to 70. So those are pretty strong winds. Going to be moving that snow around quite a bit and causing some slabs to form pretty rapidly. This is looking at kind of all of the snow events leading into the weekend of how much we're going to get. Zoom in here a little bit. Start over in the Bogus Basin area, about a foot of snow. Trinity area, 34 inches. Moores Creek, almost 2 feet. Some of the western Smokies looking at 2 feet. Wood River Valley, maybe around a foot by Ketchum, probably more, 9 inches in Haley. The Pioneers, again, the big winners of this area, these couple of storm systems picking up nearly 40 inches of snow that probably will get pushed over into the Tetons with all this wind, or maybe the Lost Rivers is a better example. Speaking of which, Lost River is going to be picking up about 3 feet of snow. Pretty insane. A lot of moisture coming through with this too. Pioneers picking up 2.5 inches of water. Trinity picking up nearly that as well. Everywhere else picking up a healthy 1.5 inches, looking into the weekend. All right, talking about how these storms are moving through the area. So we have that first low here. That's going to get kicked out by the second low above it. So that's kind of one of the reasons why it's coming through and intensifying so strongly, because it's getting pushed out by the secondary low that's pushing down the coast. So that gets ejected. Then we see the second low come through for Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's setting up again with a pretty nice curl southwest flow. Not as potent with that cold front coming through. And then we have a third low squeezing down here on Thursday, Friday time frame. That's not as intense, but will continue to give us some moisture. And then we look like we move into some high pressure for the weekend before this next impressive looking system coming through on Monday, Tuesday time frame. The low sits a lot higher in British Columbia, but it's pulling moisture from the Pacific, from the Pacific, so southwest moisture, and streaming that straight into us. So it's looking pretty good on the map. It doesn't really kind of show that on the MBM. All right, I'm going to show you a different thing of just these lows getting kicked out and then the intensity from them. So this is looking at 500 millibar anomaly. So putting a bunch of different GFS models together and kind of blend them a little bit. So you can see that first one coming through today. That gets pushed out. This one gets intensified even more. That's the Wednesday, Thursday one. And then the third one's kind of hard to see. It's rolling through here and then pushes down there for Friday. And then we have that break with high pressure through the weekends. Go out and enjoy some of the new snow, but then this mega thing setting up off the coastline for the beginning of next week. So looking like really nice couple storms systems coming through. Looking at Titus, how much snow it's going to get. Real quick squeeze, and this is looking like, man, 8% coming out of that. So that's more of what we're normally see in the winter time of our snow water equivalent. So light snow looking like about 1.5 feet before the weekends, And this is that next week, so probably still some uncertainty with the euro and the GFS, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Man, getting a little long here. And then Heinemann putting out tons of moisture with this quick moving cold front overhead. All right, we'll see how this all plays out.